प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे।
Hare Krishna. So we are in the final section. So after Kunti Devi's prayers, what we see, Yudhishthira Maharaj's confession. Not just a confession, he is feeling himself responsible. He is taking the full responsibility of this battle and the loss of human life because of this battle. And what is the reason? Why is he making this claim that he is responsible? On what grounds is Yudhishthira Maharaj claiming that he is the person who is responsible for this sin? What reason he states? Well, yeah, yesterday we discussed. बोलो, कल का याद नहीं, भूल गए? What is the reason why Yudhishthira Maharaj is taking responsibility of all the loss of human life? And he's saying that I am the most sinful man. And I am fit to be punished and brought in hell. Yes, Sonika.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Yudhishthira Maharaj told that many millions of people were died and many women and children became orphans. So that's why he is responsible for that, and that it has been done because of one desire of him being emperor.
Yes. For him to be reinstated as the king. This battle was fought to reinstate Maharaj Yudhishthira as the king and to dethrone the Kauravas headed by Duryodhana. So in his heart, he is feeling this very deep guilt, and he is not being pacified even by the words of Lord Sri Krishna, Vyasadeva, and other sages. So Krishna has a plan. The plan of Krishna is to glorify Vishnudev at the time of his departure, and he arranged that a discourse be there between Maharaj Yudhishthir and grandfather Bhishma. So amongst the reasons which Yudhishthir Maharaj is citing for him being guilty, one of the next reason he gives, this is verse number 49. Baladvija Suhin Mitra Pritra Bhatrir Guru Druha Namesa Nirayan Moksho Iapi Varsha Ayuta Ayute. So he says, I have killed many boys. Bala Dvija. Bala means boys, Dvija means the Brahmins, wise born. Sruhit, the well-wishers. Mitra, the friend. Pitra, the parents. Bhratra, the brothers. Guru. Prabhupada writes Guru here as preceptors. So he says, I will not be relieved from the hell. Because of this, Niryat, I will not be relieved from the hell that awaits me for all these sins. though I live here for billions of years. Varsha Ayuta Ayute. Whenever there is a war, there is certainly a massacre of many innocent living beings, such as boys, brahmanas, and women, whose killing is considered to be the greatest of sins. They are all innocent creatures, and in all circumstances, killing of them is forbidden in the scriptures. But do any politicians consider this? You recently see the situation in the world. There has been an ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. I don't know how many years it has entered. I think it has definitely crossed 2 years. It is more than 2 years since these both nations are at war. And even if you see in Middle East, most of the Arabic countries, they are at war with Israel. But none of have this consideration that there will be so much of mass killing of boys, of those who are innocent, ladies, women. Maharaj Yudhishthir was aware of these mass killings. Similarly, there were friends, parents, and preceptors on all both sides. And all of them were killed. It was simply horrible for him to think of such killings. And therefore, he was thinking of residing in hell for millions and billions of years. So, what is the feeling that Yudhishthir Maharaj is expressing? He is expressing that he cannot be atoned and he must be punished. He is fit to be punished into hell for upcoming millions and millions of lifetime. Such a soft-hearted heart is there with Yudhishthir Maharaj. He is taking all the blame on. He is not blaming Duryodhana and his company and his brothers for all the evil that they did, but he is taking the blame on his own self. This is really a kind-hearted Vaishnava. Naino Ragna Praja Bhartur Dharma Yuddha Vidodvisham Iti Menatu Bodhaya Kalpate Shashanam Vacha. He says, Na Aina Rajana Praja Bhartur Dharma Yuddhe Vidodvisham. That never ever the king is inflicted by sin who is killing for the protection of dharma or for the right cause, who is engaged in maintaining his citizens. Praja Bhartur. Bhartur means the husband. So what is the king? The king is the husband of all the citizens. It is his responsibility to maintain them, to feed them, to keep them occupied. So there is no sin for killing for a king who kills for the right cause, who is engaged in maintaining his citizen, but this injunction is not applicable to him. So he is so much deliberating that he is himself assuming that his killing is not the killing for the right cause. Maharaj Yudhishthir thought that although he had not actually been involved in the administration of the kingdom, which was being carried out well by Duryodhana without harm to the citizens, he had caused the killing of so many people only for his personal gain of the kingdom from the hands of Duryodhana. The killing was committed not in the course of administration, but for the sake of self-aggrandizement. And as such, he thought himself responsible for all the sins. So this is the deep feeling of guilt that he is again and again making himself responsible for all the outcome of this war. So he is thinking that he cannot be attained for his sins. That cannot be any remedial measure. He will have to go into the hellish planets and suffer for a very long time. Strinam madhata bandhuna droho yo aso ihothita karma bir grahamay diye naham kalpo yapohitam. I have killed many friends of women, and I have thus caused enmity to such an extent that it is not possible to undo it by material welfare work. The Grahmadis are those whose only business is to perform welfare work for the sake of material prosperity. Such material prosperity is sometimes hampered by sinful activities. For the materialist is sure to commit sins, even unintentionally. In the course of discharging material duties, to get relief from such sinful reactions, the Vedas prescribe several kinds of sacrifices. It is said in the Vedas that by performing the Ashwamedh Yagya or sacrifice, one can get relief from even Brahma Hatya, killing of a Brahmana. So these are all Karma Kand, Vedic rituals, which allows one the atonement process, the process of atonement, Prayashrita. Yudhishthir Maharaj performed this Ashwamedh Yagya, but he thinks that even by performing such Yagya, it is not possible to get relief from the great sin he committed by killing the friend and relatives of innocent women. In war, either a woman's husband or brother or even father or son goes to the fight. And when they are killed, a fresh enmity is created, and thus a chain of actions and reactions increase, which is not possible to be counteracted even by thousands of Ashwamedh Yagya. The way of work karma is like that. It creates one actions and another reaction and simultaneously, and thus increases the chain of material activities, binding the performer in material bondage. Yesterday we read this. In the Bhagavad Gita 9:27-28, the remedy is suggested that such actions and reactions on the path of work can be checked only when work is done on behalf of the Supreme Lord. Yat karoshi yad ashnashi, yad juhushi dadasi, yat tapasyasya kaunteya kurusvammakarma. The battle of Kurukshetra was actually fought by the will of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, as it is evident from his version. And only by his will was Yudhishthir placed on the throne of Hastinapur. Therefore, factually, no sin whatsoever touched the Pandavas, who were only the order carriers of the Lord. For others who declare war out of personal interest, the whole responsibility lies on them. Yatha pankhena pankha ambaha surayava surakritam bhutahatyam tatheva bhutahatyam tathaeva ikam nayagner manashtum arhati. As it is not possible to filter muddy waters through mud or purify a wine-stained pot with wine, it is not possible to counteract the killing of men by sacrificing animals. The Prabhupada gives a brilliant analogy. Here you see muddy water. The muddy water, you cannot make it clean again. Very difficult. Even if you filter, some element of mud will remain. And the color also will not become white or back to normal. So Ashwamedh Yagyas or Gomedh Yagyas, sacrifice in which a horse or bull is sacrificed, were not, of course, for the purpose of killing an animal. So it is being said that the Ashwamedh Yagya, which Maharaj Yudhishthir subsequently observed, was not sufficient for him to atone for all the loss of life which happened during the battle of Kurukshetra. So Prabhupada said that Ashwamedh Yag or Gomedh Yag, a sacrifice in which a horse or bull is sacrificed, but not of course for the purpose of killing the animals. Lord Chaitanya said that such animals sacrificed on the altar of Yagya were rejuvenated and a new life was given to them. And probably it was human life. It was just to prove the efficacy of the hymns of the Vedas. By recitation of the hymns of the Vedas in the proper way, certainly the proper performer gets relief from the reactions of sins. But in case of hymns of the Vedas, in the proper way, certainly the performer gets relief from the reactions of sins. But in case of such sacrifices improperly done under inexpert management, surely one has to become responsible. For animal sacrifice in the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, there is no possibility of performing the yagnik perfectly. For want of expert brahmanas who are able to conduct such yajnas. Maharaj Yushti therefore gives a hint to performing sacrifice in the age of Kali. In the Kali Yuga, the only sacrifice recommended is the performance of the Harinam Yajna, inaugurated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But one should not indulge in animal killing and counteract it by performing the Harinam Yajna. Those who are devotees of the Lord never kill an animal for self-interest. And as the Lord ordered Arjuna, they do not refrain for performing the duty of a Kshatriya. The whole purpose, therefore, is served when everything is done for the will of the Lord. This is possible only for the devotees. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport of the first canto, 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Prayers by Queen Kunti and Parikshit saved. So tomorrow we will start the next chapter, 9th chapter, the passing away of Bhishma Dev in the presence of Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we covered this chapter. This chapter had principally 3 sections. What is the first section? Manoram Prabhu, this chapter, first section. Forgot? You revise. आज तो छुट्टी था ना? Yeah, did you go to the institute today also? Were you on job today?
Yes, probably there's a call, so I have to go.
You keep attending that call. And when you will attend this Krishna's call, that you have to wait for. I don't want to say all that. A foolish person. If you want to attend the official call on the national holiday, it speaks that of foolishness. You will not become the best scientist, even if you go every day, from morning to night. You will remain what you are. Nothing will change. Pradeep, what is the first section of this chapter that we have concluded today? What is the discussion based on?
They offer Ganges water to the dead bodies of the relatives.
Yeah.
And
It shows, the Pandava's situation and how Krishna saves even the only personality in the family of the Pandavas. Krishna personally enters into the womb of Uttara and protects Maharaj Parikshit. The only protector is Krishna. And then we see the prayers of Kunti Devi. How many verses you have been able to memorize by now? Pradeep?
32,
Up to 32?
18
From
to
19?
30.
From 19? 19 or 18?
18.
18. Okay. 18 to 32. There are 43. Huh? Up to 43 is there. No? 25 verses total. You have done more than half. Okay. Anything to ask or discuss from this chapter? We have still time. 10 minutes left with us. पढ़ा ही नहीं है तो डिस्कस क्या करेंगे? Not gone through, not revised. Yes, bro. There should know.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, in the verse number 50, why Yudhishthir Maharaj is telling that though there is no sin for a king who kills for the right cause, why the injunction is not applicable to him? Why, I mean, it is his humbleness or why it is?
Yeah. This 50th verse.
Yes, Prabhuji, 50th only, 50.
See, it is said, one more reason you see, what he is citing, it is mentioned there, that he was not actually involved in the administration of the kingdom. Who was the king?
Duryodhana was the king for the right, for the time.
And how was the administration of Duryodhana being mentioned? What kind of administration was done by Duryodhana? What is mentioned? Prabhupada says, which was being carried on well by Duryodhana without harm to the citizens. Also, if you see the setting the scene of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says that Duryodhana was a big diplomat. And he knew well how to rule the citizens. So the point is, one is permitted to kill those who are killing one citizen. So if the king or one who is having the power or the administrative ability, if he is going against the interest of a citizen, then he can be killed by another king. And then there is no sin. But here in this case, it is said that Duryodhana was not disqualified. And it was not harming his citizens. And even for such a king, Maharaj Yudhishthir arranged for his killing, for his termination. So that is why he said that killing the enemy is a sin. But Duryodhana was not the enemy of the city. This is his personal thing. So if someone kills a person who is taking the responsibility, who is discharging his duty, then it is sinful. Sin will be inflicted. So this is the fear of Yudhishthira Maharaj.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. It is mentioned, Prabhupada says in the purport, if you really read properly. King Yudhishthira thought that although he was not actually involved in the administration of the kingdom, which was being carried on well by Duryodhana without harm to the people. And what happened? Then it was the war who caused the killing of so many living beings, only for his personal gain. The killing was committed not in the course of administration, but for the sake of self-aggrandizement. And as such, he thought himself responsible for all this. Okay. Hare Krishna. If you don't discuss, nothing will penetrate. It will remain in the book. Okay, I'll stop here. Even Bhagavatam,